So you go email, the first email was sent through an intranet in 1971. So it took some time, right? Then Hotmail hits in 90s. Then you had late 90s, you got your Google, you got your Amazon. Facebook 2003, 2004 it started catching on. The iPhone from Apple 2007. I believe blockchain is in that space where we were at in the 90s. Amazon, Google. Back then, I know in the United States, and I imagine you did it here, those companies like Google, we called them internet companies, computer companies, web companies. Who here is an entrepreneur? Who owns their own business? Okay, quite a few of you. Who owns your own business that is not online in any way, shape, or form? You have no social media, you have no website. You can be, it happens once in a while. So it's funny, like people are like, I don't want to raise my hand, right? So we don't say internet companies. All companies are internet companies. It's weird when you're not. Like, I want to go to the two people and go, what do you got? Like, what, you have a company that's not on the internet. It's interesting. Today, when my friends ask what I'm working on, I have to explain I've got these blockchain projects. In the next 2 years, I don't think we'll ever say that. I think every project, every company will have to be on the blockchain or it will not be able to survive. It will not be able to compete with the efficiencies that blockchain creates. That trust factor is huge. And if you can close that trust gap, you can conduct business quicker, cheaper, more efficiently, higher service level than any centralized computing system on the planet. So as we finish up today, I want each and every one of you to understand a couple things. And this is what I understood pretty quickly. When I saw these projects, I saw the GALA Games project, I saw that in 2018, and I missed it. I was supposed to call Tomas back. It's a long story, and I didn't. I was going to buy $10,000 worth of nodes. And I was exiting one of my other companies, and it was a big exit. It was eight figures. It was in the tens of millions of dollars. But that phone call to Tomas, probably not making it, cost me $5 to $10 million by not completing that purchase. So he called me in October of last year and said, hey, these blockchain guys, they're launching these new projects to the world. And I went in to take a look at it, and I bought nodes, as Darren said, or maybe somebody else said, but I bought $3 million worth of nodes that day. And that was all I was going to do. That was it. I was just going to buy nodes. My other companies are still pretty big. We have 500 employees with one company. My credit card processing company, we do $5 billion a year in transactions. And so it keeps me busy. But as I started to dig into blockchain, I started to realize if I'm really at the forefront of when the internet went from Google to the iPhone, and blockchain is going to do the same thing, but I think it'll do it faster. Technology helps technology. I don't know if this will translate well, but I say this sometimes. It's like the better technology gets, the faster technology gets better. And so AI is going to help push Web 3 faster than Web 2 pushed from Google to Facebook to the iPhone. And so we have a window of time to get aggressive with the community expansion. And I'll leave you with this message that one of my main mentors shared with me. He said, if you want to be successful, if you want to create real wealth, 3 things have to happen. Number 1, you have to be at the right place at the right time. Timing is very important. Number two, you have to realize that you're at the right place at the right time. How many of us were at the right place at the right time and didn't realize we were there? I told my friends about Bitcoin in 2010. I saw a tech blog with the white paper. My degree's in finance and economics, and I just liked the concept. And I told them, what an exciting concept. But I'm not that tech savvy, so I wasn't going to start mining. Hindsight, I would have been the biggest miner in the Bitcoin world, but back then I thought it was cool. But I didn't realize how cool it was and that I was really at the right place at the right time. So we've got to be at the right place at the right time. We've got to realize that we're there. And then probably the most important thing, take massive and immediate action. And so in December, after I had done my homework and I started to educate myself on what was happening in blockchain, how BlackRock was getting involved, how Fidelity was getting involved, how JP Morgan Chase was getting involved, how the Bank of Hong Kong was getting involved, how China was getting involved. And I thought, I need to really take action. So that's when I purchased another $50 million worth of notes. And I don't say that to impress people, I say that to impress upon people. I truly believe this will be the largest business that I've ever been a part of by 1,000-fold. And I think my favorite thing about this project is that I can never do it by myself. We have to work together as a community to make this thing work. And almost every crypto project I was involved in, every ICO I put some money in, even oil wells, oil drilling investing, almost every project like that, it's all out of our control. It's either they do great and our money's going up, or they do bad and our money goes down. All of these projects, we can individually and through our communities impact the chances of our success. I know I can add 1 million+ people to a meeting software online, video conferencing. I have no doubt. Like, I can probably do that within the next few months once we launch. I know Darren could probably do that as well. I know Richard, Aaron, there's people in this room that could probably.
Nice having you here, John.
Thank you.
We'll have a great chat here during these 2 days, and I think the audience will like to know who you are, your background, and your story, how you ended up here in Amsterdam at this great event.
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure. So my name's John. I used to be a carpenter. Back in, ever since after high school and all the way up to 2018, I was a carpenter, just, normal upbringing, normal family, and I did what I thought just normal people do. You get a job, you work hard, and then you begin to save and, buy a house, start a family, all of those type of things. But I think it was 2016, I was looking online at some of my friends, and I came across these people that had, palm trees in the background, and they were on their laptops, and I was wondering what it was they were doing, because I was working every day really hard to try to get ahead in life, and I was very curious about what these people were doing, and they were talking about Bitcoin and blockchain and cryptocurrency and all that type of stuff. So I became very interested in that and what they were doing. So that's what really began my journey into the blockchain and cryptocurrency space, and that's ultimately what brought me here today.
And can you tell about how you ended up in Connect and about the GALA nodes?
Yeah, sure. So my reasoning for getting involved in the blockchain in cryptocurrency was really a selfish one. It was all about me trying to get ahead in life, trying to find a new avenue where I could make more money to do the things I wanted to do, to maybe set myself free and just get ahead in life. And so that was really my reasoning for getting into the blockchain. It was all focused on fear of not having enough, wanting more. And what happened was, after a few years of being in the blockchain, I was out in Thailand in maybe 2018, and I met a gentleman who opened up my mind to what blockchain really is and how it could really begin to have an impact on the world. So I started looking at blockchain from a totally different perspective. Yes, you can make money in the blockchain, but the fundamental technology itself can really begin to be used to impact the world in ways that we can't even imagine right now. And so that's what ultimately led me into Connect and being here today in Amsterdam, because when I lay my head on my pillow at night and I go to sleep, or after I leave this earth, like, what type of legacy am I leaving behind? What type of impact did I try to have on making the world a better place? And that's what I really love about Connect. Yes, sure, you can make money here if you do actions, but ultimately, it's not about making money first. It's about leveraging blockchain technology, being a part of that, to make the world a better place and to change people's lives.
By adding value and building something that people can use and create a better life for them as well. And it's great to be able to be a part of that instead of just investing in air and lots of scams in crypto. So many people maybe is listening is like afraid of crypto, and I can understand them. But even if you have done some mistakes in crypto or invested in projects that has been turned up to be a scam, you need to still try to hold on to this industry and really understand it's the future. And it's happening faster and faster. You have AI now, and also AI and blockchain, and it's going so fast. So you need to be up to date, but also take your time to do some research and take the leap, I would say, and try to help as many as possible.
Yeah, I agree. And I think something a lot of people don't realize is that, for those viewing, if you ask yourself the question, like a lot of people think blockchain is primarily about money and cryptocurrency, and I don't think people realize that really what blockchain is, it's the next evolution of the web. Like, we started off on Web 1, where we had the first iteration of the internet where we could go to websites and it was read only, meaning we could only look at the information. And then what happened as the web began to evolve into what it is today, this is called Web 2. It's a more interactive space. And because of this interaction, this read and write interoperability with the internet, it's allowed platforms like YouTube, Facebook, where people could create, interact, exchange information in a way. But the problem is that Web 2 is controlled by corporations, and all of our data is being harvested. Yes, it's Web 2 is great. We can do all these things, Netflix, social media, Google, like you name it, all the things that are on the internet today. But the problem is nobody actually owns anything. Even the content you view on YouTube, it really isn't owned. The content you put on Facebook, it's owned by them and monetized, using our own data against us. So this is the promise of the blockchain, it's ownership. It's a new iteration of the blockchain where instead of the infrastructure being controlled by corporations and in centralized server farms and owned by these big companies and not used in the correct ways, we can now leverage the blockchain to have community-owned networks where now all of the value flows freely through the ecosystem and the data is owned by the peoples who it is. So this is really the next evolution of the web, and this is really what Connect is trying to do. Connect essentially is trying to become what America Online did, back in the 90s, to create that AOL disk. I don't know if there's some people that might not know what that is, but connecting to the internet at one point in history was very difficult, and there was a company called America Online that created a disk that you could plug into your computer so anybody could connect to the internet. And that's really what Connect and the nodes are that AOL disk where we could easily begin to connect into the blockchain. And we're now just starting to see the first evolution of projects that are really going to be what people begin to use, not even knowing that they're using the blockchain, because it's very easy. Everybody has a phone right now, but there was a time in history where this didn't exist. This was a new technology. Even some of the older generation, some of the older folks, 60, 70, 80, still have a hard time using this, but this is a commonplace item that leverages Web 2 technology. And then in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to have this type of technology and other technology that's leveraging blockchains instead of, Web 2 centralized server farms. So that's really what we're trying to do with Connect.
So I don't know if you mentioned, but you can call it, it is Web 3.0, that now it's upgrading, the internet is getting upgraded, you could say, in an easy term. And to be able to send value without a middleman or a third party, and that's the main thing, to decentralized stuff. And with Connect, I think they're on the right path to do that with all the projects. And how would you say to explain this, what this Connect is doing? Can you say like they're connecting companies who want to put their company on the blockchain? Could you say that?
Yeah. So essentially what Connect is, the primary mission is to, Connect is a couple things, okay? Connect is trying to make it easy for regular, normal people to be able to connect to the blockchain and, leverage the benefits, okay? So Connect has what's called a win node right now, and that's usually where people start off on a win node. Having a win node enables you to do several different things. It enables you to connect to the blockchain. It enables you to begin to receive win token rewards, which have utility. You can actually use these rewards to purchase other nodes that are in the ecosystem. It allows you to leverage the education, the academy, where you can learn all about blockchain from beginner to advanced, and there's going to be more things coming down the road. Like ultimately, and this is a forward-looking statement, like this type of stuff doesn't exist right now, but it's being worked on. We really want to be a social platform and just a place where people can come to find the best blockchain technologies that are trying to have an impact on the world.
And the utility of the win token you get when you have a win node that produces win tokens every day. And with this token, you will be able to buy nodes in other projects as well.
Exactly.
And then you get a real utility. And they're gonna take away the possibility to buy with crypto dollar, USDT, and only have the win token.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that's what it will be, So the win token really just, probably about 4 months ago, just got like market penetration, I like to call it. So it's not, the WIN token isn't widely spread on a lot of exchanges, but
Not yet.
not yet, but that's how it starts. It usually starts off on like one exchange or one liquidity pool, and then kind of as the community grows, we start to push into market. You know, so once there's sufficient liquidity, you know, usually provided by the community, and you know, once we start to get a bit popular, and it's easier to acquire WIN other than running a node, because running a node is the primary way to acquire WIN. You know, people can go to the market and purchase it also, but running a WIN node is the easiest way. So my point is that, you know, once WIN gets a little more widespread, you know, it could be several months, it could be a year, you know, none of that stuff is guaranteed. But once it does, you know, it would make sense to have it be the only payment option within the marketplace.
Yeah, you need to have a vision and have patience with some stuff. And with GALA, you didn't talk about GALA yet?
I didn't talk about
It's
GALA.
the same technology as GALA. I think many knows within crypto space, at least GALA is a big gaming token. And this technology that we're using here in Connect and the other projects are the same technology as GALA is using.
Yeah, it's from the same base layer technology. So, you know, I've been involved with Connect since 2018, and then in 2019, a bunch of us early Connect pioneers, even though we're still early, we were maybe super duper early back then, but we were invited out to Las Vegas in 2019, and we learned about how they wanted to leverage this node technology, this blockchain technology, in the gaming space. So what I did is actually, you know, well, first of all, I got educated on a lot of the problems that existed in the gaming space, because I was not a gamer. I had no idea, you know, but I learned very quickly that there were a lot of problems in the gaming space due to the current Web 2 centralization. You know, gamers spent a lot of time and money within games, and at the end of the day, really, the only thing they can take from that is potentially a good user experience with their friends online. All of the time and money gets trapped in the black hole of centralization. You know, so really what the solution was with GALA, and why I was really drawn to it, is because it would disrupt and change the gaming space. And I could be a participant in that, because essentially a blockchain cannot exist without decentralization. So my original purchase, I think I put in $10,000 and I bought several nodes back in 2019. But I really helped to grow that community and let people know what they were trying to do. And, you know, I needed to practice a little patience, because I actually had to wait about a year and a half before I could actually, you know, it was about 9 months before I could actually run my node. It was very early back then. The technology's come a long way now, but, you know, about a year and a half till that token began to be pushed into market. And something interesting began to happen as the community grew, as we decentralized and distributed nodes across the world, and as the company GALA began to develop their products and services and create this new experience for gamers, we saw the token price be reflective of that value that was given. So a lot of people like myself, you know, we made a good amount of money, but I think more important than the money, if it wasn't for us early people, you know, purchasing the nodes, this new system that created this impact in this industry wouldn't have been possible, you know?
No, I know you're a humble guy. I don't want to say amounts or anything, but it gave you freedom, that you don't need to have a normal job. You can do whatever you want with your time. That's correct?
Yeah, it really did, you know. It did give me freedom. You know, I do not work a normal job. I'm, you know, full-time blockchain. and maybe it's important to say that stuff, but you know, I think the primary focus though, it's like, sure, like, you know, you can, anybody who invests in technology early, there is the potential to make money, but it's not like this guaranteed thing. You know, I think it's important, if you were to have invested in like Apple stocks or early .com companies, you know, or imagine investing in, you know, Amazon or YouTube or things like that early, or even investing in like the cell phone industry before cell phones went live. You can make a lot of money, but there's risk involved too because it's emerging technology.
Yeah, everything is risk in life. Even life itself is not guaranteed for tomorrow, and that's what I like with Connect as well. Nobody is promising anything or talking about cars or millions of dollars or private jets, and it's lots of humble guys I've met these days, and even Tony Swantek, who came yesterday. It's maybe one of the richest here. Lots of big companies in the States, and now he's involved in Connect and in these projects. I think he put over $50 million, and if you talk to him, it's even more humble than a normal guy. It's like, yeah, great guy. I just talked to him 5-10 minutes, but that's what I also like, to invest in people, not only a project with an awesome idea, but also to have some connection with the people and betting on the people as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a big positive thing with Connect, I would say. Now I've been here 2.5 years in Connect, and also being at this event, it's been an eye-opener and very nice experience to meet these guys behind it. So yeah, you know them even better than I am, than I know them. So yeah, but I think it's the correct picture you also have of these
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, that's the reason why I'm here, because I've been in the crypto space and blockchain space for almost 8 years. I've seen everything. I've seen a lot of companies come and go, and I like to use the example, other companies or other projects are always, I feel, they're built for the wrong reasons. You know, they think about it. You know, if you've ever been involved with the crypto project that was here and now is not here, you know, what they all have in common is that they were really built around this idea of pumping and dumping, or like making money. Where's the heart in that? Like, what is the impact that the projects are going to have on the world? And that's really what I love about Connect. You know, this isn't about just pumping a token and making a bunch of people money. This is about leveraging disruptive technology to really begin to have an impact on the world. And I think for some people, that might be very different from what they're used to out there in the industry. People are used to seeing, you know, flashy things and knowing what the market support for a token is going to be. That's not this. You know, this is real people trying to build real technology that has real potential to make an impact on the world. And, you know, there's no guarantees with anything, but in my experience, the value of tokens are generally reflective of the value that's being added to the individual, or the size of the problem that's being addressed. So that's what we're doing. We're leveraging blockchain technology to begin to create community-driven node networks that these projects that you'll probably hear about if you follow this YouTube channel, that are beginning to have an impact on the world. And you know, this isn't owned by companies or corporations. This is owned by people like, you know, myself and Hans and people all around the world. We can own a piece of the network. Imagine owning a piece of the internet. Like, that's really what this is. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, no, great said. Do you have anything else before we wrap it up to add? Before we say bye to the audience, that they should know about the Connect, the vision this coming years maybe? They want to have at least more and more projects every year, adding to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So like when Connect first started back, you know, several years ago, there was only a handful of projects. we have currently 15 projects that are available to participate in through Connect. And you know, the great thing about blockchain is there is always a solution that, you know, could be used using blockchain to solve problems. And so, like, you know, there'll be constantly more projects added and more opportunity to connect to the blockchain through Connect to maybe participate in, because there's so many problems in the world, almost every industry, and you know, there's more than 15 industries. You know, we could potentially see more projects being added to the Connect marketplace all the time, you know? So it's like, the way I look at it, it's like the first iteration of the internet, we had no idea that YouTube was going to be born and Facebook was going to be born and like all this technology. So it's like, you know, the potential is almost unlimited to, you know, what could happen in the next several years, especially through Connect.
Yeah, and it's impossible maybe to invest in every project that's coming out from Connect, but like we were saying, this minutes we've been talking, everything starts with win, a Connect node, win node, and to start there, like I think that's the best way, and learn by doing and learn on your journey, because it's impossible to know everything in this space, because it's happening so fast, everything every day. So even I put 6-8 hours a day, it's impossible for me to figure out what's happening. So just jump on and then learn on the journey. That's what I did, at least.
Yeah.
So no, thankful for your time.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, and hope to see you next event.
For sure.
And maybe in Sweden within 1 or 2 years. Hopefully we can get some people over.
Hopefully sooner.
Yeah, hopefully sooner, yes. And yeah, thanks for watching. And will come some more interviews, I think, during this couple of days. So watch out and be ready for some new content. Ciao.